All right, so we're doing a little update today. Here is the onions that we planted in the last video. They're taking off, doing really great. Just now, my wife went ahead and pulled all the carrots that were amongst the strawberries, and this cage was in there as a trellis. It came from here to here for some peas that used to be in here. So went ahead and severed all the little runners that were running through the cage. So now I'm gonna have to uproot some of these and move them. Some of these strawberry runners that have ran over here to this side. Dig this guy up here. Just move it over there. Oh, I have one more pot I forgot about. So yeah, I just took some of the runners and stuck them in pots like that. And I have 3 over on the patio. I'll drop a picture right now. And I got one more I gotta take over there, and so yeah, I'll just cut their little umbilical cords and move some of the other runners in between there. But I want to get this planted out today with a few of the remaining starts over there. Everything has diatomaceous earth on it right now, as you can see. These peppers are from last year, and they're not doing as well as I want them to. I don't know why they're getting overwatered, what's going on with them, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull those 2 today. They do have some big fruits on them. Along with this one, I'm gonna leave this guy. It's doing the best. It did the best last year as well, so not too sure why out of those 2, but I'm gonna pull those guys. And then the sunflowers, I'm just leaving them for now. And we'll have more room to be able to plant here now and then put a couple plants there. So over here, this is a tomato from last year. It did get attacked by frost, and that's why it's so kind of sparse and in between. But the new growth on it is doing really well. This got a huge flower cluster right here. And then the flower, or the tomatoes that are on it, are doing great. So this guy's coated in diatomaceous earth as well. Had some spider mite issues. I don't see it progressing, which is great. That means the diatomaceous earth is doing its job. So we have a pink brandywine here in the big cage. That is a black cherry tomato. And then this guy is the Cherokee purple, and we have some fruit ripening, but we also have some fruit that is splitting. Not super happy about that. I believe that's from it getting hot and then getting water, and then they swell and they pop and crack. So that one split at the top there. You can see some of them are splitting. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the splitting ones today, even if they're still green. Hopefully they'll finish ripening on the counter and we can still enjoy them, but there is some massive fruit in here for sure. So, and this fresh green growth, you can see after I've sprayed the DE or dusted the DE on here, is doing great. So hopefully once I get some of those fruit off, it'll put out more growth, and it has the rest of this to grow up too. And if it decides to grow that tall, I'm gonna let it grow that tall. So got the jalapenos here. Ton of jalapenos in there. Very hard to see with the camera angles. I'll go ahead and get them harvested and then drop a picture. Over here we have the Italian sweet peppers, and they are massive. There's even a bigger one right there. I'm not sure whether to leave these guys and let them ripen red like they're supposed to. They have a different flavor from green to red. And these were from last year, and they're doing amazing. You can see the plants are massive already. So not sure how I'm gonna handle these guys this year, but look at that. Got more jalapenos already coming in up top. So last year I had the jalapeno growing so tall, I had strings going up and down to support the plant that was growing all over the place. So, and from the last video, we had the corn planted, and it is now taking off. along with the squash in this corner. We have had an issue right here where these corns are kind of leaning this way, getting shaded out, so I keep ripping the leaves and kicking them back. Next time I would plant the squash in this corner where they're not fighting for the sun. The sun would, you know, come this way and be able to stay out of their way. So some of the corns aren't the largest, but they are, you know, there's enough big ones here where I can kind of spread them out. I need to do it soon if I'm going to move them. I don't want to disturb the root mass too much, but this soil is still nice and moist underneath the surface. It looks super dry, but it's not. Over here, we have the little watermelon. I keep calling it the watermelon volcano. And the watermelon plants are taking off. I think there's four seeds in there. I might thin one or two out. Not sure yet. Just gonna see how they do for now and how they grow. But inside this mountain, once again, nice and moist under there. So I have the dripper running, and I dug a little divot in the middle, and it just kind of floods there, soaks down. But every night I come out here and spray the perimeter with a hose, and it collects water in that trench and it all soaks in. So they're gonna take off and do great. So I can't wait till this whole area is full of watermelon. Over here we have the tomatoes, and you can see where I put the diatomaceous earth and then where they've grown new growth already. So this one did a pretty cool fork right here where it just almost topped itself. So there's two tops. As soon as these plants hit the top of the cage, I'm gonna start topping them and focus on the growth here inside the cage, not let it go too crazy out of the cage. So getting some flowers finally, it looks like, in there. So super sweet. Had a marigold down there that didn't get enough water. But my plant tags finally arrived, so I can take these pots out of there with the tape on them and remove them. This is another Cherokee Purple. I really like the Cherokee Purple and any kind of dark fruiting variety. I've heard they have more, what's the word? More flavor, more something. I'll drop it in the video here and put a little description of what I'm talking about. So the jalapenos are doing great. I topped these guys just once and they're just taking off. Look at that guy. Wow. Super cool. So trying out the cages upside down, already doing great. I planted some more green onions like I always do from the grocery store, and they're taking off, doing good. This one's doing something crazy. Check this out. Little squiggly guy in there. I don't know what's going on with it, but camera to focus, there it goes. So yeah, marigolds are doing great, and then the nasturtiums, I think I need to chop off some of the old flowers because it was doing way better than this. It's kind of slowing down a bit. This is a Malabar spinach. It's the red vein. And it came up in the other bed over there, and I just stuck it in a pot. Oh, you can see the roots coming out of the bottom. Wow, nice. So that I'm going to gift to a coworker. I have 2 of these plants growing out front and a bed out there, and they're doing awesome. So yeah, and this is the black cherry tomato. Anytime a little sucker like that pops out of the side, I'll just push it back into the cage and keep it all encased in there. So I did go ahead and top this. See how I was talking about top of the cage? Just top it, keep it inside the cage. This one had some flower clusters there, so I topped it right above it, but left the flowers, so hopefully it still fruits well. But then that'll encourage this guy to come up, this guy to come up, and just keep growing more and more and putting out more flowers. That's what we're here for, right? Is the fruit. So this bed This is the gold medal, which is now taken off and doing great. But I'm super excited to have the tomato plants in these beds because I think they're getting just the right amount of light to where they're not going to lose their flowers this year. So, as you can see, lots of clusters coming on. This one is the black crim. Oh, wow. Wow, you're seeing this with me right now. I haven't seen this tomato yet. I can't get my fingers in there. I need to cut out some squares to get in here and access and get all these leaves up and off away from the soil so we don't get any disease. Not that I've had disease, but I don't want that to happen to me. I've heard a lot of bad stories about people getting different kinds of tomato diseases in their gardens. So again, marigold's doing good, producing lots of flowers. Super cool. The ghost pepper's doing good. I'm a little concerned about the lighting in this bed because these are kind of growing like this way instead of straight up like the other beds. So maybe it's just this plant's a little weird because that one, that is the Carolina Reaper. It's growing normal. But yeah, I haven't seen any pests since I put off this diatomaceous earth. Some plants have it more than the others. I don't think aphids mess with the peppers as much, probably because, well, they're hot and they're pepper plants. So, but they love the tomatoes. I haven't seen any issues with tomato hornworms yet. I'm gonna knock on wood for that. But these two are the Romas. Whoops, had my finger in front of the camera. Roma tomatoes, and they're doing great. Finally seeing some flowers, so hopefully these flowers will set before the heat gets to us and they start to fall off. That's what we're hoping for this year. But these two beds should have enough shade and moisture in there to keep them nice and cool. So anyways, just a small little update, and we'll be back with you in the next week or so with a little project. Before we go though, I'm gonna pop over to the chicken coop and show you kind of what I have going on over there. So as you can see, got the post set, have it all framed out. Spin around here. Got the door frame for the door, and then this fencing is gonna go all the way around. And then I'm gonna put some of this mesh kind of hardware cloth on the outside of that fencing, and it should be sufficient. So got the framing to support the fence all the way to here. This isn't gonna be the fun part, but I'm gonna start the fence here and run it all the way down, all the way over, and then stop right here. Then along this wall, just to seal off this gap, I'm gonna go ahead and just use some scrap 2x6, screw it to the back of this, and be able to fill that whole gap and not have to mess with it. So yeah, and then the coop is just this little playhouse. My wife really liked it, so I built 2 nesting boxes. This one is going to have 3 sections in it, and this will be a roll-away nesting box to where when they lay the egg, it rolls to the back, and I'll have some kind of cushion there to, so the egg doesn't break. And then this one will have 2 little dividers in it, kind of like that. And then there'll be a back wall to kind of hide where the eggs are going from the chicken so they don't step on them, chew on them, break them. But I do plan to have a few roosts in here, and then I would like to put the watering system in here as well. So yeah, this is kind of it for now. Once I get the fence up, we will be moving the chickens out here, and then I can slowly start working on, they're not going to be laying eggs for quite a few more months. So, but just to get them ready and get the nesting boxes taken care of. So this is gonna slide back right up against here, and then I'm gonna build a little access door. It's either gonna come up or open out, but that way we can walk around the back and get to the eggs in this box, and then this box will have to actually come inside and get to the eggs here. But we do get some sunlight in here, as you can see, early morning, but the afternoon, when it's the hottest part of the day, it's all shaded out. So this was all rock inside of here, and so I went ahead and removed the rock, and then I sifted it out and got it down to where it's mainly soil. There's some small pebbles in there, which is fine, but I did not want them just in straight rock. And you should have seen this before. After I removed the majority of the rock, there was still a ton of big rocks in here like this. And I just didn't want them to be, you know, I want them to be able to be comfortable and not be standing on a rock all day. So nice soil. Yeah, it all looked like this, just rock. But I'm gonna leave some rock around this because this is still a live line and I don't want it messed with. So that's gonna conclude our video for the day. I will do an update once I get the fence set and get the birds in here. So gonna have to build them. This is gonna slide back some, but build them a ramp up to where they can get into the coop, get some roosts in there, and then they can start sleeping in here, out here. So super excited for that. But until next time, that's gonna be it for the day.